The Catholic leader is the Pope. In a city hardly known in the world, an unknown city of Turkey, a Muslim country, the war between East and West that began exactly 3,200 years ago. Centuries after the Trojan War, the Roman Empire was established. As Emperor Constantine was collapsing, the number of Christians continued to increase. In 325 AD, the Christian councils in Iznik were held, and the Trinity of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit was created for the first time in this council. That is, Christianity existed with Jesus in Jerusalem, but its first known formation was in Iznik. In this process, the capital of Rome was moved to Istanbul in 330. Thus, the capital of Rome was no longer Rome, but Istanbul, and its religion was no longer paganism, but Christianity. Therefore, the capital of the West became Istanbul, and its religion became Christianity. During this period, Rome was divided, and the Byzantines, who remained standing, would become the sole rulers of the West. At the beginning of the 600s, a new religion began to rise. Under the leadership of Prophet Muhammad, Islam was advancing rapidly its borders up to the gates of Byzantium. The Pope could not withstand the defeat of the West, and they launched the Reconquista, meaning the reconquest, a plan to expel Muslims from Europe. It took exactly 700 years, they claimed, to cleanse Europe of Muslims. 300 years later, Christianity split into two as Catholics and Orthodox. At the end of 1453, the leader of the West, Rome, was destroyed by Muslim Turks. In 1683, the Ottomans besieged Vienna for the second time, but were defeated and forced to retreat. In the war between West and East, the siege of Vienna became a turning point, and superiority shifted back to the West. With the Treaty of Karlowitz, signed in 1699, the plan to push Turks and Muslims out of the West began. The War of Independence that began with a Turkish officer, Mustafa Kemal, was perhaps the last front of the centuries-long war between East and West. There was no force left in the East that could stand against the West. The war between East and West came back to the borders of the Trojan War. The will of Catholic Europe was still that those important to Catholics should have influence. At the top of these places was Iznik, where everything had begun. Therefore, the Pope wanted to come to Iznik, but Mustafa Kemal did not allow it. Because the importance of Iznik for Catholic Europe was clear, and when the dates showed 2025,